Good morning, welcome back to Casa TexPina. It's a beautiful cloudy day today. Monday morning, we're back to work. Guys are continuing with removing the forms from Saturday's pour on the front fence. They're continuing to erect the hollow block wall for the back part of the southern wall, where it connects to the neighbor's fence line. Also up on top, up on top we've got several things. Masons are putting in the remaining hollow block wall for the media room half bath, as well as they're starting to build the wall around the dormer window, and the welders are in the back today. I'm not sure if they're doing the dormer window roof line today, or if they're going to continue here with the purlins going across the front. So as they get going, we'll watch that throughout the day. Also, I do have plaster coaters in 2 more locations, one in the master bath finishing out the inside of the water closet, and one in the dirty kitchen. I believe that's mostly where everybody's at. I'm going to go ahead and start walking you guys around and show you where everybody's at. So let's get started. All right, starting off this morning here in the back southwest corner, where we connect up with the neighbor's fence line. We are going to continue with building the hollow block wall until we are up to the full height. You'll see it marked here on the top of the fence line. That'll be the top there. So we're going to have full fence height here in the back and along the back wall. These guys are working to make the hollow block as they go along. So you can see we just finished the 6th course here. It's got a tie rod on it and starting number 7. Okay, moving around to the front, Mr. Carlito's doing the same thing, and again up to the top here. That'll be the last course of hollow block. Okay, and Mr. Pablo is running mortar. He mixed the mortar this morning, and now he's running it back and forth here for Mr. Carlito and Mr. Gabby. Coming around to the front of the house, Mr. Romy and Wilson over on the other side have removed the forms from what they built, or what they poured on Saturday. Already chipped it up a little bit so that the plaster coat, the next plaster round, will stick to it, and they're going to continue building forms for the lower half of those two fence posts, and possibly start working these. We'll have to check with the electrician guy's not here today, so they may continue with those, they may not. We'll check in as they go throughout the day. Coming into the front door, like I said, we have one plaster coater, one mason guy here in the back, and he is working in the plaster coating in here in the water closet area. And then up on the top, welders are working here on the back half. Looks like they're going to do the skeletal view of what the dormer window is going to look like, the roof line for it, same like they did on the front. Let's go look over on the guest side of the house. Excuse me. All right, guest side of the house. They put the support cage down in the bottom for the staircase. So this will be its main support down here, and then they will bend all the rebar down to start going up this first flight of stairs up to the top, up to the middle landing. Okay, let's see if I can climb this turkey and go look from above. Oh wait, actually one more thing. There is someone in the dirty kitchen area. A couple of guys here, and they're continuing the plaster coat. And Mr. Ben and Mr. Jerome in here doing plaster coating. Ben's plaster coating. Mr. Jerome here's running mortar back and forth. All right, now let's go take a look upstairs. See if I can climb that staircase. Pardon me. Carefully as we go. All right. Coming up slowly. That's much easier than going up the scaffolding. They're getting ready to make looks like they're getting ready to make some mortar and cement, or mortar or cement. Probably making mortar, because this is the Marlin brothers here. Got Marlin 2, Marlin 3. I've got 3 Marlins on site, so I have to put them numbers that I haven't figured out their last names yet. They're continuing to build the hollow block around the half bath until they get it up to height where it needs to be. Over here on this side, my 2 carpenters, Mr. Marvin and Mr. Totoy, are continuing to erect the forms for that column, and they'll pour that most likely later this afternoon. All right, mid-morning walk around. Let's take a look. Guys are up to 9 courses on the fence line here. Getting ready to put in another tie rod before they go up to the final height. You can see it here marked with the chalk. And then continuing over this way as well, same. A little bit cleaner block work this morning. Looks nice. Coming into the house, see the guys here that were working the fence posts out front. They're cutting their forms in here, and then they'll go place them out there to make sure that they're the right size. Coming back into the master suite, into the master bath. Mr. Jericho is still working on plaster coat. So look at the other gentleman that was doing plaster coat over here in the dirty kitchen area. Mr. Ben and Mr. Jerome working plaster coat here in the dirty kitchen area. Looking good. We'll go walk around and see how the staircase is coming along. Okay, tying in the rebars. All right, working around in the media room. Mr. Marlin is continuing to work on extending the hollow block walls for the half bath up to height. Up on top, Mr. Joseph, one of our welders, is doing the long welds for the trusses. Also adding in some additional bracing underneath to make sure that the pieces are all connected. And the guys on this side are working the top bond beam going across the top here, and it looks like they've started working some of the rebar for the dormer window area. So we'll catch up with these. This looks like an additional support coming through for the roof trusses. Okay, checking up and following in with the foreman, as well as the welder foreman. This beam that's going across here, the two angle irons welded together with rebar and then continuing across on the other side of the dormer window. What that is, that's additional bracing for the trusses. Where the trusses connect here, there was nothing here to support them, so they installed the additional brace, and they're also connected to both trusses, and then coming off of the dormer window they're going to do the same thing on the other side, the brace, and then it's got a stand that comes down and connects into the top of the wall here. They will incorporate that when they start building the dormer window and the rest of the walls going up. So that'll all be included into the wall. Alright, we're going to do a post-lunch walk around here real quick. The welders have decided to get off of the purlins today. We have intermittent showers, so kind of hard to do electrical welding with intermittent showers throughout the day, so they've gone over to start prime coating, putting primer on the all the purlins, the new purlins that they've gotten in. So they're doing that, and most of them are under shade, so or under cover, so the rain ain't gonna hurt them too bad. And on this side, they're making more mortar for the plaster coat operations, as well as the that's the mortar that they're using to put the hollow blocks for the fence line over in the other side of the building. All right, yeah, it's starting to drizzle pretty good here. Probably can't see it on the screen, but fairly well. Okay, up on top, right up here, see Mr. Marlin, one of our labor guys, doing masonry work. They're extending the walls upwards for the bathrooms upstairs. Let's see, let's take a walk inside. These guys are building forms for the two columns here. Putting the parts and pieces of them together. Let's take a walk back here into the master suite. Go into the master bath. See how Mr. Jericho's coming along. Oh yeah, it's coming along nicely. All right, almost done with the top half, huh? Yeah, lilentic. Well, it's only drizzle. It's only drizzle. A lot of work to do. Yeah. Kapampangan word for drizzle is lilentic. Let's see what these guys are doing over here. All right. So they've already poured the concrete for the base of the staircase. All right, let's go take a look upstairs. Okay, doing good. All right. Then this was Mr. Marlin I was showing you earlier, upstairs doing the hollow block. Look like they're almost up to height to where they should be putting on the top bond beam here shortly. And that's what these guys over here are working on as well. Bond beam, and they're turning the bond beam down so that it connects into the column and incorporates the truss up here on the top as well. All right, that is where everybody's at today so far this afternoon. That's the spot. Coming back into the dirty kitchen area. Mr. Ben's continuing to work on the plaster coating. Big old scoop of mortar. Just spread it all over the wall. Little flip flop here and there. Alright. Gonna continue on with the next step. Alright, the fence is coming along really well. I believe talking to the engineer, we are going to go up another 2 courses of hollow block across the top. So that's where that should be coming along. These guys are getting ready to start forming up the column here. Speaking with the engineer earlier, instead of cutting this now, we're going to put a sleeve over it. The one that's there now is not large enough. They're going to redo it and make a little bit larger sleeve so that the pipe on the inside has room to move and it doesn't pinch or break that pipe. So until the plumber has a chance to work on it, that's just going to have a sleeve over it going through the fence. Later on, once that pipe gets removed, that'll be a good drain spot. So it'll help drain the backyard out into the sidewalk. Okay, these guys are working that. Up on the front, the welders did decide to go ahead and jump back up on the ceiling. Up on the roof, I mean. And they're still putting in purlins into place. Sorry, no drone footage today. It's a little wet. Don't want to risk getting water inside the engines, so they're working on that there. Let's go take a run inside. We are starting to get something nice stuff going along here. I misspoke earlier. I told you guys that that my gentlemen here were building forms for the concrete posts outside. They're not. What they're building forms for is down here at the other end of the guest hallway. They're building forms for the steps. Our steps are starting to take shape. Mr. Alex here has been working these. You see his nice drill right here? That little piece of pipe and a nail, that's his drill. He's doing manual drilling today. So they drill the hole out, make sure it's deep enough, and put the rebar in that's going to go side to side, and then we'll have steps going up the rest of the stairwell. All right, there's some more rebar coming to him. Going back through the kitchen area into the dirty kitchen, Mr. Ben has continued working on the lower half of the walls with plaster coating. Right now he's doing the smooth coat finish. Looking good. All right, and the other place that was plaster coating was over in the master bath and the water closet area. Let's go take a look at that. Whoops. Okay. Dito ka pa rin. Kini ka pa. Last one for today. Oh, you did on this side too? Oh, tomorrow.
Layout today.
Oh, just layout. Okay. So he's gonna do the nails and layout. Very thick, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. He said macapal, it's very thick. That's okay. All right, let's go see. Oh, I had something to show you guys. The engineer corrected me. He said he watched the vlog where I was talking about this drawing. These are not centimeters, they're not millimeters, these are inches. Notice today he put inch marks. This is almost to scale. I actually sat here and watched him put it up using his tape measure for his scale. So we've got the trusses coming down from above. So from the top roof ridge comes down. This beam is the exterior wall right here as it goes around. And in these beams, this hidden gutter system is actually going to be 16 inches wide. The idea is to make sure that all the water that comes off the roof has more than enough opportunity to hit the inside of the gutter instead of overshooting it and continuing to go down. Now inside the gutter, so that ends up making the gutter about 19.5 inches deep, or 19 inches plus or minus, 16 inches wide, and then on the other side is going to be 12 inches high. And then it will have the angle iron support underneath and out to the fascia. So what we're looking at here is as the water comes down off of the roof, it drops into the basin. There will be a screen here that goes all the way around. They're actually going to fasten it underneath on the top, and on the bottom they're going to have a spot here to where it's just wedged in case I need to pull it up for maintenance. Be able to clean out the gutters. Inside the gutter system, you have the PVC pipe that is going down and inside the beams. Yes, I've heard from several of you that the downspouts inside the beams is not a good idea. However, structural wise, the beams were adjusted to make sure that we still had enough support for the building with it, even with the PVC gutters inside. Very common actual building technique that they do here. Even if it wasn't a hidden gutter system and they were doing the gutter system where it sits out on the edge of the eave gutter system, they still put the pipes on the inside of the columns and the walls, just to hide them from view and so that they're a more permanent feature. We were having a little bit of a a little bit of a Tagalog or Kapampangan language lesson here. So we had the beams, or this is the top beam that we had up there. I believe a couple of you guys told me it was Gary, you told me it's a bond beam. They also here call it, in Pampanga, they call it a bigat. That's pronounced bigat. This word here says pader. Pader is the wall. Okay? Pader is a wall. Okay, now down here we've got two words. Can be used interchangeably for the same thing. We got kisame. Kisame is a ceiling, or more accurately, being where this one is located at, it's called elero. Can be spelled with an H or without the H. It's elero. That means eave. And then of course we got over here the fascia. One more up here on the top. This is they call the roofing material, the sheet metal, it's called hierro. So that's roofing. Roof is hierro. Okay, that's the language lesson for today. All right. So that's about where most folks are at today, this afternoon. There's my welders. You can see them. They're putting in supports for their putting in supports for the purlins that they're going to be putting in later on. You do see they are actually putting in these little chairs, little L brackets, part of the angle iron, and they're using them for brackets to additional support for the purlins so they don't just flip right over. All right, guys. Okay, one last thing. I was telling you guys about this support beam that goes across here for the trusses. What they're doing here over the dormer window piece where Mr. Totoy just came out, they're actually going to include that beam into the dormer window wall by incorporating it into a bond beam, or as they call it here, biga. Remember I was showing you on the drawings on the wall over there. So this is going to be a bond beam. It's going to be solid concrete across the side, this side, and then they're going to continue with hollow block above it at a later point when they go to build the rest of it. So that should be happening tomorrow. Okay, a little bit of progress on the steps. Some of the forms are starting to get put into place. Hi, Mr. Alex. Almost quitting time. You're still doing holes in the wall, huh? Oh, manual drilling. Manual drilling. We're calling that manual drilling. Yeah, look, see, he's doing manual drilling. All right, it's yabba dabba doo time. Guys are getting ready to go home. It's still drizzling. Remember, Kapampangan word for this is lilintik. So, what did we get done today? Only a little bit on the metal because of the rain. The guys didn't really want to get up there with the electric arc welders. Kind of a hazard. We did get lots of plaster coating done in the master bath water closet and in the dirty kitchen. Made some real progress with the staircase. Starting to put forms on the lower half of the stairs, so that's starting to really develop. And we had another fence post formed, as well as one inside the bunkhouse. That one's formed. Didn't really show it, but that one was formed up at least 3/4 of the way. And I think that about wraps up what all happened today. They did do some more stuff upstairs. A little bit of hollow block wall up on top of the media room's half bath. Alrighty. If y'all liked today's video, please give us a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the Casa TexPina star right over here on the side, and you'll be subscribed. Hit the bell icon just below the view screen, and you'll be notified of our next upload for your viewing pleasure. And until we see you again tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, have a great afternoon, and God bless. Thank you for watching. If you liked today's video, please hit like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon to be notified when our next video becomes available.